Folks, don't confuse luck for skill. I'll tell you what I mean and then get into the latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending November 22, 2023. There are thousands of you that watch this channel every single week, and 60% of you are not subscribed. So if you like the content and you want to be reminded when these new videos come out, do me a favor, consider subscribing. Okay, luck for skill. Let me tell you a story. I'm going to change the names because I don't want it to be so personal. I'm going to say Frank. Let me tell you Frank's situation. Years ago, approximately 10 years ago, Frank was of the age where a lot of his friends were talking about possibly getting married. Some of them had bought pre-construction condos, and he thought it's time for him to get into the market and to buy a pre-construction condo. He had some down payment saved up, and he spoke to his dad and he said, "Dad, can you help me with the rest of the down payment?" It was about half. "Help me with the down payment so I could buy my first pre-construction condo." His dad said, "Sure, son, I will help you." And that's what happened. Dad gave half the down payment and he bought a pre-construction condo approximately 10 years ago. Frank's whole plan was to close on this pre-construction condo, rent it out as an investment. He was still living at home. There were no plans yet for him to move out or get married or anything like that, but he was going to have this pre-construction condo rented as a way of getting into the market and to start building some real estate wealth. Well, a few years go by. Pre-construction condo is ready now to close, and values went way up. And some of his friends started talking about selling on assignment. Imagine all the profit you could take out of here. And he was thinking about it, Frank, and thought, you know, if I do that, if I sell a pre-construction, I could pay my dad off right away and I'd have all this money. And that's exactly what he did. He sold pre-construction, sold fairly quickly. It was awesome. It was a simple thing to do. Got all this money, paid that off. Everybody's happy. Son's got all this money in the bank. Father got his down payment back. Worked out unbelievable. So Frank then decides with this money that he's got now, worked so good the first time, he's going to buy 2 pre-construction condos. Again, the plan was to close on those. He knew it might be difficult to close on both of them. So he spoke to his dad again. He says, "Dad, I'm going to take my profit. I'm going to split it and buy 2 pre-construction condos. My plan now is to have 2 investment properties, both rented out. But Dad, there may be a situation where I might need help closing on one. I could close on one on my own, but maybe the second one I might have a problem. Will you help me?" And the father said, "Sure, son, I will help you." So that's what Frank did. He bought 2 pre-construction condos. Several years passed. It's time for them to close, and values go up again, substantially. Frank is so excited. He knows how well he did the first time selling an assignment. So now his plans of closing on those, kind of questionable. He's thinking, what if I sold these pre-construction again? Turns out that's exactly what he did. He didn't need his dad's help to close. He put them both up for sale. Not pre-construction, sorry. What if he was to sell those on assignment again? He put them both up for sale, sold them on assignment, made a ton of money. He's so happy. He's got all this money now in the bank. It was an easy process, no issues, no speed bumps, just smooth. Everything went great. Sold them quickly. He also has a girlfriend that they're like talking marriage. Maybe he's going to be getting engaged soon. Like, life is great for Frank. So now he's thinking of, man, what do I do now? He's done so well. So he decides he's going to buy 3 properties now, pre-construction. He's going to buy 2 condo townhouses in the same project, and he's going to buy a detached property, which is going to end up being his principal residence. He's thinking of now he's going to be married by the time these projects are done. So this is going to be his family home, the detached house. And all the money he's made is basically going to go for deposits through the whole pre-construction process. He's going to use that for the down payment on these properties. But the whole plan is these 2 townhouses, he's going to be selling them on assignment. He's got no plans on closing on those. He's going to take all that profit and put it down on the detached that he's buying for himself, for him and his soon-to-be future wife. That's where they're going to start their family. Well, fast forward to today, modern time, the townhouses are due for closing. The detached is due a few months later. That was the whole plan. The townhouses would close first. He'd take the profit, put it on the detached that was closing a few months later. He can't sell those townhouses. He's trying. They're for sale, but the values didn't go up the way values went up in his previous investments. The values actually have gone down. He has these townhouses for sale at a price that wipes out the deposits that he's got on there. He's been trying to sell. He started off high and he's been coming lower and lower and lower. He's in a bit of a predicament now because there's zero. He's not only not making any money, but he's at a price that if it sells at that price that he's got these townhouses at, he'll lose all the deposit money put on there. Furthermore, the detached, he can't close on that. The value has come down so much that he's also losing the deposit that he's put down on that. Plus, with the interest rate, him and his future wife won't qualify to close on that. He's in a serious, serious financial problem. They've been on assignment for sale now for a while, can't sell them. So the reality is, not only is he going to be losing all the deposit he's paid, it's most likely, reality is going to be that he's actually going to have to come up with some other money somewhere because it's going to be selling below his deposit amount. I know those of you watching this channel right now, some of you, maybe not 3 houses, but it could be 1. Maybe you're in a similar situation. And I'm even more confident when I say, I know those of you watching this, you know somebody who's in this situation. This is pre-construction. It's almost pre-construction's dirty little secret that, hey, prices always go up, but they don't. The dirty little secret is that sometimes prices don't go up for when you buy pre-construction. And there's people out there right now losing their shirt. Frank's problem was all those years where he was making money on pre-construction, he actually thought he was skilled. He thought he was so smart. He was smarter than everybody else. When in fact, he was just getting lucky. And thousands of people got lucky when prices were going up. What do they say? An incoming tide raises all ships. So values were going up across the board. It didn't matter, almost didn't matter what you bought 2, 3, 4 years down the road when the pre-construction was ready, you made money. Well, tide's going the other way now, and it sinks all ships also. And what Frank thought he was so smart and savvy in his investments that he couldn't do anything wrong because he was so smart and clever was just the market acting in his favor. he confused where he was actually being lucky, he thought he was being skillful. And it caught up to him. And there's tons and tons and tons of people in the GTA in this situation right now. Don't confuse skill for luck or luck for skill, or however you want to say it. You know, you got to be smart enough to know when you're just being lucky and learn to back out, because there's also thousands of people that were very clever, that were skilled in this investment process and did pull out and now are sitting with a ton of cash waiting to get back in to take advantage of those people that thought they were skillful when in fact they were just being lucky. If you feel this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, there's a link to my calendar. Click up here or click in the description on my calendar, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Pre-construction, many of you, your luck has run out. Let's look at the resale market. Here's a quick summary. Durham, Brampton, Mississauga. This line here is pre-Labor Day, post-Labor Day, which is the fall market in general. We've got our peak pricing for each area, average sold prices. This is for detached properties only. Average sold price is down from when we peaked 1, 2, 3 weeks after Labor Day. Prices are down. We're going to start off with Mississauga. This is for week ending November 22nd for detached properties. This chart broken down by week for a whole year. Sales. 29 detached properties were sold in Mississauga. There's a lot of areas where sales are trending down. Not in Mississauga. 29 detached properties were sold, and it's since middle of October, it's basically been about that. One property sold at $2 million or more. So that's down, because many weeks we'll see 3 or 4. We had as high as 8 and 6 over the last few weeks. But this week, one property sold at $2 million. Average sold price down from the previous week to $1,334,000. If we kind of go back to where we are here, the middle of June, prices were trending down all the way to August. Then they kind of flattened out to Labor Day, but right after Labor Day, they've started coming down quite rapidly. Compared to last year, $1,334,000 is 12% lower than where we were at the same time a year ago. Now, last year at this week, for some reason, prices shot way up. The median price is basically flat. It's 0% change from where we were this time a year ago. If you look at the dotted line, even the median price, you could see that it's been trending down. The dotted line is a 4-week moving average. 29 were sold, only 10% sold at list price or more. So there's not a lot of competition, not a lot of multiple offers, and that's selling at list price or more. So some of these, there's always going to be some selling at list price or more, and that's just because of the list price. It could be so aggressive, and many times we're seeing situations where the sellers are trying for high, they're not getting it, running out of time, and they bring their price down so low that buyers jump in, and then voila, sells at list price or a little higher. And it's like, wow, you have multiple offers. Yeah, but that's not as important as what's the actual final sold price. Maybe it sold below what recent sales did, maybe a little higher, but that's really what you want to focus on. Listings are trending down. Active listings are trending down. Months of inventory, slightly trending down, but over the last, since I guess the last month and a half, between 4.2 and 4.8. Right now for week ending November 22nd, it's slightly up from the previous week, sitting at 4.3. Pretty much a balanced market, close to being in the buyer's market territory. We're looking at Brampton now. 31 detached properties were sold for week ending November 22nd. No property sold at $2 million or more. Average sold price came way down from the previous week to $1,131,000. We were in the 1.3 and a bit range. We're now in the 1.1 and a bit range. Prices have come way down since May and June. I put an X on this week. The previous week, 31 properties were sold. 3 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price shot way up. If we were to ignore that crazy week there, 1131, where we are now, kind of falls in line to where we've been the last few weeks there. Compared to last year, 1,131,000 is 9% lower than where the average sold price was a year ago. The median price is 4% lower than where we were same week a year ago. Listings of the the sales of the 31 that sold, basically a quarter, 26% sold at list price or more. Listings are trending down. Active listings, the amount of properties available for sale, are trending down. And months of inventory came down a little bit from the previous week, but still way up there at 5.1 months of inventory. 5.1 is just in the buyer's category range. Now, folks, this is not an exact science. We say that a balanced market is between 3 months and 5 months of inventory. Above 5 months is a buyer's market. Below 3 months is a seller's market. But it's not an exact science. There's a lot of gray in between. So 5.1, you're going to get pockets. And this is also an average of the whole area. In this case, Brampton. There's going to be pockets that are going to feel pretty much a balanced market. And it's going to be other areas of Brampton that's going to feel very much like a buyer's market. Here's Durham. Now for Durham region, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample, detached properties only. For week ending November 22nd, 31 detached properties were sold. Average sold price has come down from the previous week. Seems to be a theme, right? Average price coming down. $1,106,000 is the average sold price for week ending November 22nd. 1,106 is 3% higher than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 8% higher than where we were this time a year ago. If we kind of look back 2.5, 3 months, prices have been trending down. Not aggressively, but they're trending down. Up to 31 that sold, 42% sold at list price or more. Durham region is more active as far as percentage selling. It's more competitive than Mississauga and Brampton. Listings, however, boom, coming down. Active listings, the amount of properties you see available for sale, coming down, not aggressively, but trending down. Months of inventory climbed up from the previous week to 2.9 months of inventory. I have 3 months on the board here. 2.9 is the highest that we've seen. We've seen it twice now. We were in the 1.5 or lower range before 1.7. Overall, months of inventory is trending up in the Durham region. Now, remember what it was. Brampton was, 5.1, I think it was. Durham region, under 3 is amongst the lowest we see just about anywhere right now. Here's condos. Now, these condos are for Peel region, all of Peel region. The majority of these condos are being bought and sold in Mississauga. 23 condo apartments were sold. I put a question mark here. I'm basically saying, what? 4 of those sold at $1 million or more. And that's an abnormal number. We don't see it so often. We saw it here. We saw it October 4th. And we don't see it at any other time during the course of this 1 year that I have on the board. So 23 sold, 4 of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price shot way up to $709,000. But I look a little deeper and I've got to say, without those 4 $1 million plus condos, average sold price would come way down here to $587,000. So if what's more normal, 1 or sometimes 2 condos selling at $1 million or more, I'm just gonna say it's sitting somewhere around $630,000, $640,000. But right now, without the 4, $587,000, which takes them more in line to, you got your low, you got your high. That just saying, sometimes we gotta look beyond the exact numbers that are on the board here. 709, no surprise. It's 23% higher than where we were this time last year. The median price is 6% higher than where we were this time a year ago. 23 were sold, but only 9% sold at list price or more. Not a lot of competition when it comes to condos in the Peel region. Listings are trending down. Active listings, are they trending down? They barely look like they're moving. Months of inventory, way up there in a buyer's market category or territory, let me say, at 6.8 months of inventory. There's nothing here that supports that prices all of a sudden for condos in Peel region have shot up. It's just those 4 properties selling at $1 million or more. Here's a quick summary. Below 5 months is a balanced market. Condos way up there in a buyer's market. Generally speaking, it's going to be either a buyer's market or a balanced market that you're experiencing out there. But it does change neighborhood to neighborhood. It does change property type to property type. And it does change price point to price point. It's so important to understand what's happening out there. Strategies do change depending on which area you're in. Who you hire matters. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.